Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of different ways to filing your taxes in 2025. There are a lot of helpful tips in this article. So I'm going to point out a number of tips where you can complete your taxes for free or have somebody do it for you for free. So here's your guide to filing your taxes in 2025. The IRS offers an online tax filing system that lets you file at no cost called Direct File. It is available in over 20 states, so visit the IRS website for the latest information and see if you can use Direct File and save money on filing your taxes. 2025 tax deadline. The end of the 2025 tax season for most Americans is April 15th, 2025. If you're unable to file before that date, you still have options. You can file for an extension. Filing an extension gives you an additional 6 months to October 15, 2025 to submit a complete return. If you believe you will owe taxes, you must estimate how much you owe and pay the amount due with your extension form. You can file a late return without an extension. If you do not owe taxes or you expect a refund, you may not owe a penalty. If you owe taxes, you may be charged a penalty for filing late. If you do not owe taxes or you expect a refund, you may not owe a penalty. Still, it may be best to file as soon as you can to receive your refund or to ensure you don't owe a balance. See below for more information on ways to file a return for free and claim your tax refund. About filing your tax returns, if you have income below the standard deduction threshold for 2024, which is $14,006 for single filers and $29,200 for those married filing jointly, you may not be required to file a return. However, you may want to file anyway. In many cases, especially for people with low incomes, these features can increase the amount you could receive in a refund. There are some key factors. Make sure you look out for. Over withholding. If you worked during 2024 and had taxes withheld from your paycheck, you may be able to get some or all of that over withholding back in your refund. Make sure you get W-2 forms from all your employers and enter that information into your tax form when you fill it out. The Earned Income Tax Credit. If you work or were self-employed and had earned income under $66,000, you could receive the Earned Income Tax Credit by filing a tax return. If you are eligible for the credit, the maximum amount you could receive is $632 if you have no dependent children, $4,213 if you have one qualified child, $6,960 if you have two children, and the max is $7,830 if you have three or more qualifying children. The child tax credit. The child tax credit is worth a maximum of $2,000 per qualifying child. Up to $1,700 is refundable. Different ways to file your taxes. If you're one of the estimated 100 million people that are eligible to file your tax returns for free, you can keep all of your refund money by choosing one of these options. In-person, full-service tax preparation. If you meet the requirements below, you may be able to take advantage of in-person, full-service tax preparation services through the IRS, voluntary income tax assistance, ARP Foundation, Tax-Aide, and tax counseling for the elderly. These free programs have operated for over 50 years and use IRS-certified tax preparers and meet high IRS quality standards. This means you can be assured you'll have accurate returns. You can schedule an appointment with VITA, TCE, and Tax-Aide sites if any of the following applies to you. Generally make $67,000 or less, have a disability, have limited English skills, or speak English as a second language, or are 60 years or older. Find a VITA, TCE, or ARP tax advice site here. You can click this link here and it'll take you to a link that provides additional information. Note, some VITA or ARP Tax-Aide sites are open year-round and some close at the end of the tax season. When you search for a site, check dates open. Remote full-service free tax preparation. You can get connected to VITA providers around the country virtually to have your return prepared by signing up through the Get Your Refund. Check the website for details. Free self-preparation. If your income is $84,000 or less, you may be eligible to file federal income tax returns for free online using guided tax preparation software through IRS Free File. Other eligibility for free products varies with providers, and some may charge fees to file state returns. Review offers carefully and assess this service through the IRS link, rather than going directly to the website for the guided tax preparation software. Free tax filing for service members. You can prepare and file your tax returns for free through MilliTax if you are active duty service member, spouses, and dependent children of the eligible service member, members of the National Guard and Reserve, regardless of activation status, retired and honorably discharged service member, including Coast Guard veterans within 365 days of their discharge, a family member who is managing the affairs of an eligible service member while the service member is deployed, a designated family member of a severely injured service member who is incapable of handling their own affairs, eligibility survivors of active duty, National Guard and Reserve deceased service members regardless of conflict or activation status, some members of the Defense Department civilian expeditionary workforce. Consider these factors before using a fee-based tax preparer. Before choosing, pay someone to prepare your taxes. There are a few things to consider. Fees you pay will generally be based on the complexity of your return. If, for example, you have multiple sources of income, including self-employment, are claiming certain tax credits, and have had changes in your life circumstances during the course of the year, you will likely pay more than if you have a simple return. Despite the complexity of your return, you may still be eligible to file your taxes for free if you meet the guidelines listed above. But check with the free provider of your choice before paying to have your taxes done. Here are some important tips about selecting a paid preparer. Check the preparer's qualification. You can use the IRS directory of federal tax return preparers. Check a preparer's credentials. Check the preparer's history. Taxpayers can ask the local Better Business Bureau about the preparer. Ask about service fees and be wary of preparers who boast about getting bigger refunds than their competition. Make sure the preparer is available after this year's April 15th due date in case you need follow-up help with your taxes. Your tax documents, such as W-2s, are your records. Preparers cannot keep the originals of these documents or keep your ID to force you to use their service. If you file using their services, they will need copies of your documents for their records. Ensure the preparer signs the return and includes their preparer tax identification number. All paid tax preparers must have a P-10. By law, paid preparers must sign returns and include their P-10 on their return. If you go to a paid preparer, they may offer you additional products that will reduce the amount of your refund, such as refund anticipation checks or refund advance loans. Stay away from those. Understanding refund anticipation checks and refund advance loans. Refund anticipation check. If you use a fee-based tax preparer and you don't have the necessary filing fees, some tax preparers may offer you a refund anticipation check. A RAC allows you to pay the tax preparation fees out of your refund instead of upfront. When you receive your refund, the tax preparer will take out the RAC fee, filing fee, and any other service fees they charge. A RAC doesn't deliver your refund more quickly. RAC fees typically range from $30 to $50. Try to avoid this. That's just very expensive money. Refund advance loan. Some fee-based tax preparers may offer you a refund advance loan so that you can get a portion of your expected refund in advance. Tax preparers may call them a tax refund advance. If you decide to do an advance, you will borrow money up front from the preparer, and once the IRS issues you a refund to the tax preparer, you receive the remaining portion minus the RAL fee and any other service fees they charge. The amount of RAL is typically a percentage of your estimated tax refund. You can wait 2 additional weeks. Why waste your money paying for something that's terribly expensive? All tax preparation firms are different. Some firms offer RALs with no fees or interest, but others may charge fees and interest. Keep in mind that when you file electronically, the IRS typically issues most refunds in less than 21 days. So you may end up paying a big RAL fee for a short-term advance. As with any financial product or service, carefully consider all fees and charges as well as timing. Help make informed decisions that's best for your situation. Assess your tax refund quickly and safely. If you think you may receive a refund, here are some things to think about before you file your return. Electronically filing and choosing direct deposit is the fastest way to get your refund. When using direct deposit, the IRS normally issues refunds within 21 days. Issuance of paper checks may take longer. The IRS estimates 4 to 6 weeks. If you already have an account with a bank or credit union, make sure you have your information ready, including the account and routing number, when you file your tax returns. You can provide that information on the tax form, and the IRS will automatically deposit the funds into your account. If you have a prepaid card that accepts direct deposits, you can also receive your refund on the card. Check with your prepaid card provider to get the routing and account number assigned to the card before you file your returns. If you don't have a bank account or prepaid card, consider opening an account or getting a prepaid card. Many banks and credit unions offer accounts with a low or no monthly maintenance fee when you have direct deposit or maintain a minimum balance. These accounts may limit the types of fees you can incur and may also offer free access to in-network automated teller machines. You can often open these accounts online. And preparers may suggest receiving your refund on a prepaid card. The fees associated with these cards vary greatly depending on your provider. Most will charge fees for out-of-network ATMs, so it's important to determine if the network is convenient for you. And lastly, watch out for tax scams. Scammers usually target you by impersonating the IRS, get you to share your personal information with them. Thousands of people have lost millions of dollars and their personal information to tax scams. Scammers use mail, telephone, or email, target individual businesses and payroll and tax professionals. The IRS does not initiate contact with taxpayers by email, text messages, or social media channels to request personal or financial information. Learn how to recognize the telltale signs of scam and make sure you know how to tell if it's really the IRS calling or knocking on your door. I have a lot of different videos on scams, on tax returns, on investing. If you aren't certain about all this information, this will be linked below. And if you have any other comments or concerns, post them. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Hope that helped. Thanks for watching. See you soon.